rate of HIV amongst black people.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the Lord's judgment. Okay? There's no mathematical statistical reason why it hits us predominantly. Okay? No one will be able to interpret that other than the will of God. All right, the Most High. It's written right in front of us. So read the scripture. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 24 and 16. The father shall not be put to death for the children.
All right, we're back live. Facebook, YouTube, we're back up live. Deuteronomy 24 and 16 says that the father shall not be put to death for the children. In an analysis of crimes and judgment that was rendered, the father was not put to death for the crimes of the children. Read on.
Neither shall the children be put to death for their fathers.
Neither shall their children be put to death for their fathers. Okay? When you are establishing judgment, you are not to put to death the father for what the children did. You're not to put to death the children for what the father did. Okay? But if you're Haitian, you should understand exactly what the scripture is talking about. You do inherit the punishments of your father. How do I know that? I look in Haiti and I see your father eating mud cookies and I see you eating mud cookies. What separates you from a rich European in Switzerland? Why is he born? He gets to go to School of Vienna, gets to come over to the States and go to Harvard, right? Yale, go to an Ivy League school, and you fighting to walk and climb onto trains in Central America. What's the difference? You inherit what your father passed down. Your father passed debt down to you. Your father passed poverty down to you. Now, are you going to do something amazing enough so that the Most High says, you know what? He has a debt. He owes me. I should require my debt. But I'm going to forgive him of his debt. Are we going to do it? Damn right. We should. And these are the things that every Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, they should understand these things. All right? This is in reference to the judgment of the priest. The priest must render righteousness and judgment. There's a precept for this also in Deuteronomy. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. It is unrighteous to kill the innocent. Right? Does that make sense to everyone? You cannot slay someone that is innocent. That is called murder. The priests were not to commit murder. That's a law in the Bible. Thou shalt not kill in Exodus 20 and 3. So when it was sanctioned to put someone to death based on their crimes, you were only to put that man to death. Okay? If a man and woman commit adultery, they get stoned, not their kids. If children do something that is against the Most High that's worthy of death, they will be killed, not their parents. Go ahead. Not necessarily. If a thief breaks into your house and it's at night and you can't see him and you kill him, the blood's upon him. He likes to run up in people's houses and scare them. So if he drops dead, then you're trying to defend your life. You don't know what he has. When you can't see him and you kill him, then that's on him. But if you can see him, then you are not to kill him. I'm going to get that scripture though to give you the precept. Whoever had the scripture, read it. Where were we at? Were we still with Uzabad? Go ahead.
Neither shall the children be put to death for their fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Okay? In the book of Deuteronomy, the Lord licensed judgments that were worthy of death. The priests physically carried out those judgments in the book as prescribed by the book of Deuteronomy at this time. The priests carried it out. This scripture is pertaining to the priest's judgment. Priests cannot stone kids of an adulterer. Can't do that. You can't, burn alive the children of a whore. Okay? But the woman that did those things, the man that did those things that did evil, they will be put to death. All right? Scripture has nothing to do with whether you are poor or not, because you are poor. Okay? And you inherited that poverty from the poverty of your father, from his father, and his father. Okay? So this scripture is talking about in the rendering of judgment as it pertains to the priests. The Lord can do whatever in the hell he wants. I think he's called the Lord, right? And he was gracious enough to give us a whole chapter about it, about what he would do. We chose to disobey it. All right? So that's the breakdown on that scripture. What else got a question? Oh, your question about a man found stealing. Did you have a scripture, Sam? Okay. Hold on. If you have questions online, type them in. If you can hear and see, press 1. We had a little technical difficulty. If you can hear and see, press 1. All right. Can I answer your questions? Nope. 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 Shalom, Officer Malakia. Blah, 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 blah. ADR, I don't know if you're asking this as a question. The word Christian literally means a follower of Christ, quote unquote. The Christians were called Christians as an epithet, just like we are called. You ever heard the term Black Hebrew Israelites? The term Black Hebrew Israelites is made up. I hate that phrase. You hear that all the time because what it sounds like is we're a group of we're the black section of Hebrew Israelites, and the real ones are the white ones. You get my point? And Black Hebrew Israelites is not true because the 12 tribes come in all shades. You get my point? There is no Black Hebrew Israelite. You get my point? Israelites range from a very, very light skin to a midnight jet black, like our king. Our king is on the dark end of the spectrum. You have people on the light end of the spectrum. Both of them are Israelites. You get my point? The term Black Hebrew Israelites came from our oppressor to mock what we do, just like the term Christians came from people that were against us. It's the same thing. It's an epithet. All right. The term Christians just means a follower of Christ. All right. Do we call ourselves Christians? No. We call ourselves Israelites. Okay. We are the people that Christ came to save. All right. So that's as far as it goes. The term Christian today, also another thing, the term Christian today carries a demonic connotation. We want nothing to do with that. You got a fraternity of rapists called the Roman Catholic Church. They call themselves Christian. Okay, robbing South America blind, stinking blind, while he goes out in the Holy See and shakes people's hands, the Pope. While South America they give their last penny to that Italian, and he doesn't give a damn about it. We don't want to be associated with them. All right, we're not affiliated or associated with any other group. All right, we're the Israelites. All right, to answer his question on the topic of Christian, it's not a term we use. It's a term that's people identify with our adversary, the Christian church. Okay. Scripture. Oh, you're asking Reggie if he knew. Go ahead and ignore him. I don't. If he's asking questions because he wants to answer or what have you, the class is going to get run regardless. Nothing interrupts this class. Go ahead. Did you have a scripture? Okay, Zabadia, did you have a scripture? Okay, you wanted to get okay. Exodus 22:2 on your question. All right, I want you to read it. All right, brother. So the brother asked a question: if you find a man stealing from you, are you allowed to kill him? Let's get the answer. Go ahead. Whenever you have the scripture. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 2. I want young man Eduardo to read it. All right. Yeah.
If a thief be found breaking the thief,
That's the old. You got to give him. Can you look it up on his phone? That's the old English one. You might. Yeah, the old English one. The old English one takes some practice. All right. Some of the letters are a little bit. They use V instead of U. There's an I instead of a J. Yeah, it takes some practice. So go ahead, read it again. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 2. All right.
If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall be no blood be shed.
If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, if he's found breaking things up, moving into your cabinets and your filing cabinets, etc., and he be smitten that he die, no, there shall no blood be shed upon it. If you find him and he's trying to steal from you, and you find it necessary to use deadly force, then you use it. Again, this is written thousands of years before Canada, before America. America has deadly force law, which they use against us when they murder us He had the right to use it because he was in fear of his life. Okay? They get that idea at least from the scripture. All right? And the proper use of the scripture is if you find a thief and it's necessary that he be smitten that he die, or if he's smitten that he dies, you're mixing it up with him, you hit him, falls back, cracks his head open and dies. That's that. He was found, he was a thief, you were defending yourself, he's dead. Read on.
If the sun be risen upon him,
If the what?
if the sun be risen upon him,
Read on.
there shall be blood shed for him.
Go ahead.
For he shall make full restitution.
So if the sun's risen upon him, can you kill him? If he's making a restitution, is he dead?
I don't know.
Okay, meaning like he has to pay. So this is your hope. If the sun is up, I have to make a restitution. So can you kill someone while they're stealing from you if it is daylight, if the sun is up, if he's just stealing something from you? No, because he has to make a restitution. All right? This scripture is talking about when it's necessary and not necessary to use deadly force. When you can't see him and he's going through your stuff, that's why it says if he be found breaking up, he's breaking up. Why? Because it's dark. You understand? You've seen it in the movies. They come in when it's dark. They got to move stuff around. They're in there quick because you don't know who's in the house. You get my point? And thieves generally are cowards. And so they don't want to come when it's bright. They come when it's at night. Okay? And they come in your house like mice, go through, rummage through your stuff, right? If you find him doing that and you defend yourself and your house and your property and he dies, no blood's going to be shed for him. If the sun rises, he is to make restitution. Okay? When the sun, you can see him, it is best not to kill him. Okay? Both in the laws of the Most High and in the laws of this country and in America. All right? It's best to use discretion when using deadly force when someone is attacking you or stealing from you. That's what the scripture is bearing out. The sun has risen upon him. Now he has to make a restitution. If it's at night, you have to defend yourself. If he dies, he dies. So you can't just kill someone because they're stealing from you. That's not what the scripture is saying. There's different context. The Bible has a explanation for every situation you'll go through in life. All right? So if he's stealing from you, sun's risen, there shall be blood shed for him. He has to make restitution. The blood shed was the sacrifice that was made. The bloodshed that's made today is you should not go find him and kill him, but he should change. He should feel hurt by it, and he should have a contrite and broken spirit, like it says in the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 16. That's the sacrifice you're supposed to make, changing your behavior. All right, read on.
If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
Go ahead.
If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double.
So you're going to restore it. You're alive. You're not dead. You're going to give back double. There's another scripture as well that's similar on your topic, in that if a man steals when he's poor, that he wouldn't get the same judgment. It would be understood, that he was poor. There would be a judgment, but he would have to pay back sevenfold eventually. But if you stole because you're poor, you wouldn't get 3 strikes and life in prison in the United States. That's not what would happen. You stole because you're poor. You wouldn't go up and go get put in prison. You read through the Bible, prisons and jails are very rare in the Bible. There are maybe like 1 or 2 accounts. There's an account you can look up in archaeology where there's a house, and in the basement of the house there was a cell. You see in the old Western movies where they have cells. The cell, it will be in the basement of the sheriff's house. That was from the time of the book of Judges. You can find that in the book of Judges. And in Deuteronomy, where it says they put him in ward. That's twice in the Bible. America, Canada thrives off of prisons. All right? So it's very rare that a man will be in prison for something that he did. It's just unnecessary in many cases. All right? But that's another topic. That's to answer your question. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So for when the sun rises, would it be because in the night you can't see him, so you don't know if he has a weapon or if he's in danger in your life?
Yeah, you go in and you defend yourself. You can see what he's doing. If he's stealing from you, then it's right you're to stop it, of course. But he has to pay back what he stole. That is not a time where you should kill him if he is stealing. Now, if he pulls out a machete as big as this table, you know what time it is. You have to defend your life. You understand what I'm saying? There's context to everything. All right? That if he's just stealing and taking your stuff and trying to run off with it in the law, he should pay back what he has stolen and double in this context. Go ahead.
But what if like someone tries to kill you, bro? Like, kill you, like defend yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it thinks like like taking his own life.
If someone is trying to kill you, defend yourself. That's what we advocate self-defense. Someone is trying to kill you, you defend yourself, whatever means you need. All right? The Lord is not passive God. The Most High is a man of war. So in contexts where someone is definitely trying to kill you, you act in self-defense. That is legal, according to the Most High, and it's legal in the eyes of Canada. There's nothing wrong with doing that. All right? But again, when it's necessary, and you should avoid people that'll make you think like that. You understand? There's plenty of people in Toronto that'll make you think, am I going to have to shoot this cat? Or is he going to shoot me? Am I going to get stabbed? Just don't, I would have you not worry about that. Just go ahead and leave the cats alone. Lord be with the brother if he's an Israelite. Lord be with him. May he come into the truth. Some Israelites you got to leave them alone. All right, the Israelites are your brothers, but they living like Trudeau and them. Go leave them. They're living like the conquistadors. Go leave them alone. All right. So that's to answer your question. Questions online. Is the Lord present? I'm just going to ignore simple questions. Like somebody asked online, is the Lord present? It's a stupid question. Huh? No, we're going to an atheist is going to ask us. We're going to we posed some questions to a Haitian atheist about his beliefs and what we think about the Bible versus what he thinks. He thought it was acceptable, however, to comment up and down on our class. All right. Anyone online have any questions? Type your questions in. Make sure you fill out that sign-in link. Okay. Questions in the room now. Any more questions in the room on anything we do? Okay. All black. Why do we wear all black? Anyone know? You ever heard that in class? Wear all black, boot, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf? Well, we say it at the end of every class. Okay. Yeah. It's a sign that you are willing to change your life. All right. The men who formed this school put things in place that were based on the Bible. Okay. Based on the Bible, you have to make a real commitment to the Most High. It can't be done in word. All right. Don't love in word. Let us love in deed, in action. You have to do something to show that you are willing to change. And what was decided was that you will come in if you want to be a part of the school. You will come in. You will watch the classes online in all black. Boot, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. You want to be a part of the school. Now, does everyone have to be a part of the school? No, you don't. All right? I personally would not recommend it. All right? I would not recommend, if you're thinking about, maybe this isn't for me, it's not for you. Don't do it. All right? Me, I didn't have a choice. There was one way, and I took that route. All right? You have to understand that we're a body, an organization. Not everyone is a CEO. Commanding General Yohana is the head of the nation of Israel under Yahushua or under Christ, and then it falls down, trickles on down to us. Not everyone can be the head, the eyes. Some people are the foot. Your foot is important. Go sprain your foot while you're trying to play some football, some soccer. You'll know how important it is when you can barely kick. You understand? All the members are important. So I say all that to say, we're not a cult. We're not forcing you in to join and become this thing that we want you to be. We want you to come in and be what the Lord called you to be, and you'll show it. We'll see it in your zeal, and you'll show it. All right, but it's it's not recommended to be in here if you don't want to do this. You get my point? You're just wasting your time. All right, but all black is just to know that you are willing to make a change. That's all. All right, nothing more than that. Questions online or questions in the room? Any more questions? Nobody has any questions? Go ahead. Wait, you had the question about the rate. Israelites teaching rate? Yeah, we'll get that next. You go ahead. Oh boy.
I already know that Ruth is an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was reading, I got to chapter 3 and 9.
Okay.
And I'll just read it. And Ruth chapter 3 and 9. And he said, Thou, who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. Spread forth thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman.
For thou art a what?
Near kinsman.
For thou art a near kinsman. Was Boab a Chinese man? The grandfather, the father of one of the grandfathers of David, and the great 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 grandfather of the one the world calls Christ. He must have been Chinese, right? Must have been a Moabite. No. For Ruth to be a near kinsman to Boaz, they had to be the same race, the same family. Boaz was from the tribe of Judah, the so-called American Negroes. Ruth was from the tribe of Judah, the so-called American Negroes. Okay, and just because she's called a Moabitish woman, you are a Canadian, right? Paul was a Roman. Now, was he an Italian? Could he have been a member of the Gambino family? No. Paul was a West Indian Negro, but he was a Roman. He had Roman citizenship. You have Canadian citizenship. Ruth was living in the land of the Moabites. That's why she was called a Moabitish woman. Ruth was an Israelite living in the Moabites' land, which is no different than you living in the land of Justin Trudeau and John Cabot. All right, and Christopher Columbus and Hernan Cortez. All of these lands have been conquered by our enemies, but we are living in them. Okay. So yeah, that's absolutely right. Ruth is an Israelite. Okay, Ruth is not Chinese. And anyone that's saying that all of this, where all this comes from, it might seem like, oh, this brother, he got a disagreement about the Bible. He's trying to come. Oh, he saw this scripture. You know what it is? Someone somewhere is having sex with a Chinese woman. That's all that. That's all this is. That's all. It's the only reason why Scripture says Ruth, Chinese. He's having sex with. He's having sex with Wong Feng. Okay, that's why he's doing that. Filipinos are Israelites. You know why someone says that Filipinos are Israelites? Because there's some Jake in Hawaii or in the Philippines getting it on with those me love you long time Filipino women. He has a Filipino girlfriend or a Filipino wife. Let him have it. But that doesn't change the doctrine that is within the Bible. You understand? Ruth is not Chinese. The Filipinos are not Israelites. And you get the point on down. Now, the rape. Fake Israelite groups, Christian groups really teach that a man can rape and that it's in the Bible. This is a giant lie. This is something that you would think that would be a snare and a trap to Israel. Is rape common in the black community? Yes. Is it common in the Latino community? Yes, it is rampant. Is it common in the Native American Indian community? Forget about it. Native American Indian women are the most likely to be raped and murdered in this country and in the United States. So what? We need you to come with the Bible and teach that? Huh? No. No. Okay? It's not lawful. Can you take me to the scripture that they use? Do you know the scripture that they use to? Okay, does anyone know the scripture that they're referring to? Okay, the scripture that they're referring to is lay hold. Get me lay hold. All right? Yeah. I think it's lay hold on her. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. All right. Now this lie comes from men who are in the spirit of Edomites. White men cannot get women regularly, like the regular way you do it. What do you come? You come in, right? Got the come up to her. Hey, mami, let me get you some Jose Cuervo, right? On me, like okay, I like your style. Hey, let me get you that, what's the Jamaican? The rum. I got you the rum, sister. You come up, you come up fresh. With no guy, what's good? What's going on? What's happening? You got Negro, he got the car, rims tinted out, bass, knocking the block, making my teeth chatter, coming out my mouth like this. I got, oh, snap, because Jake's running the bass, okay, knocking the teeth out of my head. He's doing that to get a woman. How does John Cabot get a woman? How does Christopher Columbus get a woman? Rape. Grab her up. They got the practice of look up bride kidnap. They're still doing it over in Borat country. Remember the movie Borat? Yeah, they do still doing it over there. Hold on a second, Kazakhstan, etc. Bride kidnap. Go look up documentaries on it where they still do that to this day. That is how a white man gets a woman. You watch that documentary. That's how they do it.
You can even see that in Devil's Spirit.
Hmm.
That like even when we were children, they would teach you, oh, we're cavemen and how caveman got his woman. You take a club, pin her over their head, and drag her right into the cave.
And they lived happily ever after, right? go go ahead. Yeah, bride kidnap. It's going on in Central Asia, Caucasus region, which is where the Caucasians come from. Okay, it's still being practiced by their descendants along with some, I don't know what those are over there, Moabites or something, Russians. All right. That's of course not in the Bible. But we're going to show you that. Scripture that they use is here. Read the scripture, Deuteronomy 22 and 8.
Deuteronomy 22, 22 and 8.
Yeah.
And when thou buildest a house, then thou shalt make a, and when thou buildest a house, thou shalt, Salakia,
Oh, Deuteronomy 22 and 28.
28.
Yeah, 22 and 28, all right?
Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
Uh-huh.
which is not betrothed,
A young woman of marriageable age, which is not betrothed, meaning she is single. That's the big one. That's what the brothers should be looking out for. Single. Are you single? Sis, do you have a man? Are you with anybody? That woman is in your scope. Fair game. Okay? The woman that has a man, she's off limits. Leave her alone. Okay? And there are plenty of single women in Canada. Forget about it. All right? So this woman is a virgin. She's young, tender. She's of marriageable age. And she's not betrothed. She's not promised to a man.
So like, what is like marriageable age in the Bible?
Marriageable age in the Bible is the flower of her age. When a woman blossoms. You'll see. You saw it in middle school. They were looking like the uppercase letter I like this, and then hold on, they got a little bit of this going on. Woo! And then you get to college, and they fully matured. All right. So the virginity is around the virginity in the sense of a woman of marriageable age. Marriageable age is when she is at peak fertility. How will you see that? That thing is sitting out there just right. All right. The best it's going to be out there. That's when she's ready to have a woman. Her secondary sexual characteristics. You know what I'm talking about. Up here, the back, all of that will be nice and tender. All right. At the time when she is ready to marry. Virgin. You notice why I didn't say about virgin. Commonly, people think virgin is a person that never had sex. A man cannot be a virgin. The word virgin applies to a woman. Get the definition of virgin in the Zondervans. All right, to prove what we're saying. Okay, so why do I say that? What is another lie in the Roman Catholic Church? Mary was a virgin. See, all women, they have sex. Sperm goes into their box, goes up into the fallopian tubes, and it fertilizes an egg. But this one woman, she was touched by the hand of God. Where are you little boys? She was touched by the hand of God, and God got her pregnant. That's a damn lie. Okay? Women get pregnant through babies, through sex, right? Happens all the time. Give me the word virgin.
virgin. Out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Two, the words rendered the Hebrew, the terms from the root meaning to separate is a technical term for virgin, a young unmarried woman.
Here we go. A young what?
Unmarried woman.
A young unmarried woman, so she was not wed. Go ahead.
A young unmarried woman. It is also used figuratively to personify a city or a state.
That's virgin?
Yeah.
Let me see it. Thanks. The water. I got it from here. I gotta find it. When I bring out these definitions, it's good to highlight them because if not, you're gonna be on a damn hunt to find it. Hold on. That's not the definition of it. Bear with me 1 second, YouTube, Facebook. Dang. Okay, find me the part where it says a woman of marriageable age, whether married or not. I can't find it. It's like a page and a half. Go ahead. Yeah, when you find it, let me know. It should be in the early part, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. No, it's virgin. It's not virgin birth. Yeah, whether married or not, that's the one.
Of a woman of marriageable age.
Virgin, used a woman of marriageable age, right? The most fertile years, which are typically what is about 18 to maybe 30 is her peak. 18 to about 25 is her peak. That's that time. When as a man, if you let that time, as her father, if you let that time go, she's going to be someone that's 36 and no one wants. You understand? That's the time to marry her off if she's ready. All right. So a virgin is a woman of marriageable age, whether married or not. Sex is marriage. The term virgin has nothing to do with whether she had sex or not. Mary did have sex with Joseph to produce Christ. All right, the one the world calls Christ. Was there another question based on that? Virgin. Someone was reading a scripture. Go ahead, Zabadia.
Deuteronomy 22, chapter 8.
28. There you go. Yeah. So we went into virgin to show you what the word virgin means. Go ahead.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
Damsel. This is a woman. Go ahead.
which is not
Betrothed, not promised to a man, meaning she's not married and she's not talking to a man. We don't form goddamn love triangles in here. This is you. This is the other brother, and this is the sister right here. Both your love, all your love and all your love making is going to her. Two men like this doesn't work. One West and not purple group, not anything else of the world. Do not form love triangles. Find a woman that is single and is not talking to a man. You should take longer than a week to have sex with her to find that out. You get my point? In the school, we have a protocol where we give women 6 months. All right, 6 months time to shed herself of the world, and then another 6 months to court, which is what actual dating is. You can go read in the Bible and as well in history, where it says the ancient Israelites would often take a year to court. I found that, printed it out, and they're bringing it out to you now. So the 1 year rule is something that we kept as a custom in our history. All right, and it's something we practice today. That's a whole other topic. Let's stay on topic. Go ahead.
And lay hold on her and lie with her.
And you lay hold on her. Lay hold. They think that means you grab her up. You waiting in the bushes. She comes out. You go ahead and you grab her up and you take it. They think that's what that means. Lay hold. They use the term lay hold. Watch this. Hold where you're at. Go to Isaiah 4:1. They're saying that this scripture right here says you take her, you grab her, you can take her and grab her, lay hold on her, capture her, and have your way with her. And you got another thing too. If I can sidebar real quick, you got to be some kind of low, dirty piece of filth to think that that's sex. Like she doesn't enjoy it. So how are you doing what you're doing while she's crying and screaming and all that is from the slave master. All that is from the slave master. I don't know how a normal man would get enjoyment from that. Surely not us. We don't do things like that. Okay? Whatever your group does, that's between you and you. Okay? We're not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite group, any group at all. Okay? Go to Isaiah 4:1. They think that the term lay hold means that a man can have his way with a woman. Okay? Let's see if lay hold is anywhere else in the scriptures. Isaiah 4:1. Whoever has it can read. Go ahead, Sam.
Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one.
Shall do what?
7 women shall take hold of one.
They'll do what?
7 women shall take hold of one man.
Brother, in this scripture it says 7 women shall take hold of one man. So you go ahead and show them the Bible. Is that 7 women are going to rape one man? Is that your prophecy in the Bible as well? And you watch him, watch him stumble, and you just go ahead, let it sit for a little bit. Don't say anything. Let it marinate. Let him deal with it. And then you go ahead, you pull that scripture, and then you pull the scripture where it says if we're going to go in the next verse, if he does rape, he's to be put to death. You go ahead and watch him cry. All right. So if Deuteronomy 22:28, where it says lay hold means you can take a woman, then this scripture is saying that women can take a man. And is that what they teach? No, I've never heard that. And I doubt they would understand what in the hell you're talking about. Yeah, you got the hat. Okay. All right. Yes, it can be used for multiple wives. Fake Israelites teach that this is going to happen in the kingdom. Right now, a man can only have one wife. One wife that he is faithful to. Strippers and little boys over here. But one wife, one woman. That's a lie. Okay? This scripture is not talking about when we're in the kingdom. This scripture is talking about, if you go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, read it, get the context of the scripture. And this is another thing we do too, to the new brothers in the class. If you don't understand a scripture in the Bible, say someone pulls a scripture to you and says, see, this scripture says all nations can be saved. What we typically do is, if you've seen a scripture and you've never seen it before, right? All you do, read 2 verses up or 2 verses down. 2 verses up and 2 verses down is going to cut it. Nearly every scripture where it says, and in all nations shall be saved, like Hosea 2 and 1, the verse above it says, he chose Israel. So the all people are the people in amongst everyone in Israel. You go and ask them in Canada, are we around like every race on earth in Canada? They go, yeah. So this scripture is talking about us in Canada, not Chingling Muck and John Cabot. Okay, go ahead and read the scripture.
This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25.
Dwayne Davis, I'm going to get to your question. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
Thy men shall fall by the sword.
Thy men shall fall by the sword. So the context of Isaiah 4 and 1 is, as we read a few verses up. Read a few verses up to get the context. You get a few verses down to read on what it's talking about, the point of it. All right? So a few verses up from Isaiah 4 and 1. I think this is 1 or 2 verses up. I don't have the Bible in front of me. So 2 verses up, Isaiah 3 and 25 says what? Thy men shall fall by the sword. So the time when 7 women shall take hold of one man is when our men shall fall by the sword. You got gangs on every block murdering each other. You got off-duty cops beating you until your eyeball falls out. Are we falling by the sword right now? Yes. Were we conquered by the conquistadors, French, Dutch, already? Yes. Are we falling by the sword today? Yes. That's talking about today. Read on.
And thy mighty in the war.
And our mighty, they fall in the war. What war? The war between the United States government and black people. Our mighty ones fall in the war. Those cats in gangs, those brothers in gangs, they're mighty. They love the block they're on. And they're willing to die and kill for it. That's a mighty man. They're mighty after the work of Satan. They're mighty for Canada, to fill Canada's prisons up. Our mighty fall in the day of war. It's war. Black going and having drive-by shootouts. Been shot 15 times. That's a war. Okay? And our mighty, they fall in that war. When the mighty should be sitting in these rooms, in these seats. And they will be armed, they will be mighty. We would let them be mighty, be the way they are. There's nothing wrong with that spirit. But what you shouldn't do is use that spirit and go and murder your brother. You should use that spirit and defend your people. We're not Christians in here. Okay? That spirit, that's the spirit of a man. Again, the Lord is a man of war. That's his spirit. That spirit that's on Hispanics in the world, it's on Negroes in the world, that's the spirit of the Most High. It's how you can kill everyone on earth but 8 people. You think a nice guy would do that? The Lord is not a nice guy. You get my point? And we're not nice guys in our natural state. But the problem is that because of Canadian influence, we're not nice guys to each other. And we should love each other. And we should defend against our enemies. All right? Our mighty fall. Are our mighty falling? Aren't we in prison? Right? Gangs locked up, at war with the El Salvadorian government. They can come and kill you. I was watching a documentary in El Salvador. They were interviewing the brothers in jail. You know, they have them shackled, right? 100 in a cell designed for 20 people. They packed in like mice, right? One of the brothers and they asked him, what happens if the government finds you? He said, they're gonna kill you. You understand? They find you with the gang regalia out in El Salvador, they can kill you, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So though down there, the government can just kill them. You get my point? It's terrible. And also too, just so you know, with the tattoos, I'm going on a sidebar. Dwayne Davis, hold on. All right. Sidebar with the tattoos, right? A tattoo is a sin. You got it before. Okay, you know. So you got it before, but so now you of course know not to get another one. All right. Now, in terms, since you said what you said about what tattoo that was, anybody they see that, and you're trying to go for a job, you come in, hey, how you doing? They see the all right, next. Regardless of if you changed or not, that's the disgusting thing about Canada. They don't care if a black or Hispanic man changed. Like they don't give us room to change. Oh, you got that? You got that on you. Oh, I saw you, Ricardo. I saw what you did. The El Salvador, the Central Americans are rapists. Remember that? The Mexicans are rapists. What a disgusting thing to say about such a peaceful people, man. Mexicans coming up to the United States, they coming to pick oranges. That's what they coming to do. And the ones that are in that madness and gangs and committing murders, they're traumatized, man. They witnessed 30 years of civil war down there. That all that the tattoos all over their body, that stuff, they didn't make that up. That is from trauma. Now you got some cat in Africa, eat somebody's heart out, child soldier. He comes over here, he gets a U of T scholarship. He's at the U of T, computer science. 4 years ago, he was eating somebody's heart in Africa. He comes over here, gets refugee status. You're called a rapist. All right? Which again goes to show you like this fight is not about color. The El Salvadorians, right? Central Americans are light skinned. They come up here, they go to the United States. Those are refugees of a 30-year civil war. They're not given that status. But African, oh, come on, Mutombo, come. It's got nothing to do with your skin color. It's everything about your nationality. All right. That was a sidebar. All right. Where were we? Oh, lay hold and the whole rape lie that Christians teach. Go ahead. Oh yeah, Isaiah 4:1. So if a man can lie in wait in bushes and take hold and rape a woman because of your misinterpretation of Deuteronomy 22:8, then Isaiah 4:1 that women can say Isaiah 4:1 says that women can do the same thing. Watch him stumble. Go back to Deuteronomy 22 and 29. Whoever has it, go ahead and read.
Deuteronomy 22 and 29. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
So if you would have sex with a woman in this manner, you would pay unto him 50 shekels of silver. Now, if someone rapes your daughter, you going to want him to give you 50 shekels of silver? Oh, come on, brother. Matter of fact, you gave me that Canadian quarter. Let me show you something. I'm sorry, I raped your daughter, scarred her for life. Here's 50 shekels. You're not going to want 50 shekels. You're going to want a hole in his head the size of Lake Ontario. Okay? So that obviously is not what that's talking about. That is what this is talking about. When it says lay hold, the precept is in Exodus when it says entice. All you need is look up the word entice in Exodus, and when it says if a man entice a maid. Brother, here, find it for me, please. Yeah, just search entice KJV, and it should give you the scripture where it says if a man entice a maid. All right? Entice. Entice. You have it? What's the scripture? Let the brother know.
Exodus 22:16.
Okay, he's going to read it. So you read the scripture you have. So, matter of fact, hold on 1 second. The word entice means to catch. You ever heard that term? I caught her, right? I scooped Shawty up. You ever heard brother say that? I scooped her up. Now, the brother, he's not Harvey Weinstein, okay? Scooped him up doesn't mean he put her on a casting couch and told her to get this job, you got to do this and take advantage of her. That's not what this is talking about. He scooped her up the way you scoop sisters up, right? You entice them, captivate them, spit game on them. This scripture is talking about if you find a woman in the field, what does that mean? You in the bar, you see something you like, go ask her. Are you single? She's single. You spit game, spit game to her. You talk. You develop a relationship. Boom, you have sex without letting her father know. How do you know you didn't let her father know? Because you found her in the field, enticed her, and you laid with her, right? If you have sex, if you marry a woman, which if you have sex with her, you married her. If you have sex with her in that manner, you are to pay her father 50 shekels of silver. Now, if it comes to find out that your daughter had sex with, someone who was she thinks is her boyfriend, who was actually her husband, then that's not something you're gonna get upset over. You're like, all right, man, come on. You know what I mean? The truth. So you're like, you gotta stay with him now. You did that act. Okay. This is talking about a marriage that was had this way of marrying a woman is not honorable. You get my point? The honorable way would be to go to her father. All right. Which is what is wise to do. It's wise to talk to him. Like, hey, I like your daughter. I mean, I'm not going to BS you. What do you want me to give you? Break. You can give him a 6-pack. Break him a 6-pack. The Corona, whatever. Find out what he likes. Ask her, what does he like? The rum, tequila, whatever. Give him a little shot. You know what I mean? Cool it with him. You know what I mean? Hey, I like your daughter. You know what I mean? Such and such, such and such. What does she do? What is she into? Stuff like that. And kick it with him. That's the honorable way to do it. But if you did it the other route, then you would pay him a sum of money in according to the scripture. All right, go ahead. Read on.
Shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver,
You would give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Read on.
and she shall be his wife,
Mm-hmm.
because he had humbled her.
You humbled her. You taught her all things. Okay, so because of that, she's yours. Okay, now that has nothing to do with grabbing a woman up, but that had everything to do with enticing her, capturing her, the way we do naturally. Okay, and without the influence of Harvey Weinstein and cats like him. Read on.
He may not put her away all his days.
He may not what?
Put her away all his days.
So according to the Lord, you're not supposed to break up with your woman. Okay, girlfriend and boyfriend is made up. You having sex in any form, that's your woman. Okay, you're not to put her away all your days. Okay, unless what's the only reason you can leave your woman? Anybody know? She commits adultery. Matthew chapter 19 verse 9, it says except it be for fornication. If a man leaves a woman and takes another, he commits adultery. So the divorce, that's not what the Lord had plans for. Okay. So if you walk in the room and your rib is high, most high, she on cloud 9, you got to stay with her. Though she's a drug addict, you have to stay with that drug addict because you love her. You love her. How do I know you love her? Because you had sex with her. All right. Though she's a dope head, all right, you have to stay with her. You got to counsel her through that. You wanted to have sex with her, right? Loved her so much. She was so beautiful. No problem. Now deal with her drug addictions. Okay. Deal with all of her problems. Okay. She's nuts. Now, of course, you get counsel. Don't lie in bed and wake up. Your feet are off your body and you bleeding out. Don't do that. But get counsel about it. You have to stay with her, but you always have to be physically near your wife. No, not if she's trying to kill you. You understand, right? Teaching you how to live practically. Okay. But if you have sex with a woman, you cannot put her away. All right. The women then, and that makes sex more serious. Okay. Read on.
A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt.
That's not it. For time's sake, you can just go find the other precept where it says, if he lie hold on her and force her, then he shall be put to death, and the woman shall not be put to death. All right. It is as if when one rises to slay a man. The Lord said that raping a woman is like killing her. You basically you destroyed her. And you've seen women like that who have been, raped in our communities in Toronto. They gone. They mentally ill. Those women that are nuts and just go out and the women that go out and have sex with everyone, they do that because they try to normalize oftentimes rape or child molestation. It's like you killed her at that point. That's why you would get put to death. Okay. Now, according to Yahushua, all things are possible, so that woman can be healed in here. Find the scripture.
This is Deuteronomy 22:25.
Matter of fact, Dwayne Davis, Simon the Canaanite, was Simon an African? No, Simon was not an African. In Numbers chapter 12, verse 6, the Lord said, if there's a prophet that I have made known, I will reveal. If there is a prophet that I have made known among you, the Lord is speaking to Moses, then I will show him in a dream. Simon, who's called Simon the Canaanite, was a student or disciple of Christ. Christ did what the prophets would do. The prophets, right, were the Israelites. Christ and the people that were following him were Israelites. Okay, Simon was an Israelite. Christ said, go rather into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He wouldn't hire an African to go, he wouldn't bring an African into the truth to go and, grab Israelites. All right, Simon the Canaanite was a Israelite, just like Ruth the Moabite Tish woman, right, was an Israelite. He was living in that land, all right, and she was living in that land. Okay, so that's to answer your question. Go ahead. Hold on 1 second. We got a brother coming. You can just open the door for him. You give him a quick pat down or whatever. Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Got the snow on you? Yeah. Give him a hand. He made it. He made it. Lee. All right. That's the answer, Simon the Canaanite. Any other questions in the Bible? Questions online? Or yeah, questions online, questions in the room. Oh, I precepted on Numbers chapter 12, verse 6, and Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, where Christ said he only went to the Israelites, or he told his disciples to only go to the Israelites. If he told them to only go to the Israelites, then he would only go to the Israelites. So those people were Israelites. Okay. We have questions in the room. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead into my topic. You have any questions, brother? Yeah, brothers just asking a bunch of questions, and then we had a cat that was being disruptive online. I had to address him, so that was it. Did you have any questions though? Lakia, Philly, Shalom. Sylvan Sarge, Yarit Ben Israel / Benjamin tribe. No, no. You come into the school, keep watching the classes, Sylvan Sarge. You're in the right place, okay? Shabbat Shalom is from the Jewish man, okay? That Israelites, people who think that they're practicing the religion, not the religion, practicing the culture of Israelites, are actually practicing the religion of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis, okay? Shabbat Shalom is not something we ever said in the Bible. It's not something that's cultural. It's not what we say. It's like Happy or Merry Christmas. You're not going to find stuff like that in the Bible. The Lord gave us feast days and we keep them. Go ahead. Whoever asked the question has the question. Oh, almost.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, 25.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 22, 25. But if a man is a betrothed damsel in the field, and he forced her to lay with her.
Betrothed. What is the point of it? Of the Lord saying she is betrothed? Supposed to want you? No, that would be adultery. The point of the Lord saying that she's betrothed is saying that this woman does not want you. There is no way you can lawfully have this woman. She is betrothed. She's saying no, I don't want you. And if she's doing that, read on. Tell them where you're at.
Betrothed damsel in the field, and the man forced her and lie with her, then the man only